Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope. I bet in the midst of all these shenanigans of government everywhere, hiring of protesters, there is hope. I congratulate the Nigerian youth for what they are doing across the street in a peaceful protest. Yes, notwithstanding the hijack, notwithstanding paid anti-protest people coming everywhere to disrupt peaceful procession. We thank you so much on day 2. And of course, this evening, want to bring you the recap of our day 2 on the nationwide protest. The commencement of this public protest across the country yesterday is noteworthy. These demonstrations has opened a vital channel for the public to express disapproval of government policies, furthering the essential conversation about good governance in our nation. For the most part, protesters have conducted themselves with admirable peace and must be commended for their restraint and dedication. However, in some isolated instances, there have been reports of violence leading to regrettable clashes and brutalities by the police and, of course, the hired people. I urge the protesters to maintain their peaceful stance and call on more Nigerians to show solidarity and support for the end bad government protest. This is a pivotal moment for our collective voice to be heard, and it must be done with dignity and respect for law. I also call on the police to engage more professionally in managing this protest like they did in Ojota with protesters today. The needless killing of innocent citizens by security agencies are unacceptable. The police must refrain from the molestation of journalists who are merely reporting the protest. It is imperative that security agencies exercise restraint while enforcing law. Thank you so much if you were on the road today. Thank you so much if you did hit the street today and yesterday. And tomorrow, we'll be congratulating you again for making it noteworthy that is on our own time. In this very generation, Nigerians can rise with one voice, not minding the people who are talking about tribe, ethnicity, and all that. That is what they use in dividing us. Right now, we must come together to make our voices to be heard. And with me to have discussions of the recap of all what happened on all the streets of Nigeria today, I have Mercy in the studio, and of course, I have well-meaning Nigerians virtually joining us via Zoom.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, joining us wherever you are. Like, share, and subscribe. Make other obedience and well-meaning Nigerians know what has been happening across day 2, because a lot happened. Let's start with that very people who said that they were paid 5,000. There's a KK man who said he was paid 5,000. There's other people who said they were giving 1,000 and they refused to protest. But let's start with the man who said he's a KK man. He's the one that dropped most of the people that were hired and paid in his front 5,000, and he collected himself. This is what the government officials are doing, talking about hijacking or sponsoring of this protest, where they are the original sponsors of the protest. Let's take a listen. So, of course, this very particular video is, we are going to be bringing it let me quickly come back to the studio while they get out that very video. Mercy, you've seen, you were earlier in the show. I saw you doing your thing, and the congrats. You were hailing the people who were live as at that very time with you doing that. But of course, today it has been relatively peaceful, more than the hijack of yesterday.
Yeah, of course. It's really, really peaceful, and I applaud Nigerians for making this protest a peaceful one. And, you know, it's been that we are agreeing with one mind. You know, we agreed that it's going to be peaceful, and so far it has been peaceful. Thank you, Nigerians, for that. So
in the daytime, we protest in the street, and in the evening time, we come and give a recap. We are doing 2 jobs at a time. But anyway, that is what we have opted to do, to combine. So while we are here, we also protest using the voices of people trying to show people everywhere. Somewhere in Abuja, I noticed that the very dark man, they had issue. They were being chased by the security agencies, and of course they said they are into hiding and all of that. But we pray for them and make sure that whoever is protesting peacefully that has been arrested by the police, please do get that across to us so that we can, make sure that everybody gets it. So let's again see one of those videos where there is the 5,000 naira that is being paid by the officials, and of course the keke man that carried them also said that he collected his own 5,000. And of course there are people also who videos trending that they collected 1,000 each, but they also said they are not going to do what they were asked to do. Okay, let's take a listen to that.
I have evidence, but I have my people that are around here.
I have evidence.
Okay.
I am among the people that they give 5,000. They gave me day before yesterday. Yes. For this upper resettlement town hall. They gather people, they give them 5,000, and I am among. I'm KK people, I'm KK man. I carry many people go there and they give them 5,000, and I am the person that they give 5,000 naira. They lecture us that time, say, don't go to protest. Because
who gave you 5,000 naira?
I don't know the name of the person because I don't know them. They just come and with this this chairman, Amak chairman, he visited the place and they give people 5,000. Anybody, they will not count. Anybody will reach that, they will give him 5,000, and they will tell you that we cannot no go there. Don't go there. What they tell us is say there's people that they want to make problem on this protest. That's why. So this 5,000 they give people to come and destroy our peaceful protest. Is the people that they come in and destroy our protest since yesterday.
Yes.
Since yesterday, there are the people. See, after that, yesterday they start shooting us with tear gas. Today they start shooting us with the live ammunition. For what?
Okay, okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Do your protest.
Yes.
When you decided to be heading to Eagle Square, having knowledge of what happened yesterday, why do you decide to be heading to the...
I have knowledge to...
This, of course, we can see from the background the police vans over there. But this is very, very clear. This is not like the one of yesterday wherein we heard and the faces were blurred and all of that. But this is clear that someone was paid a certain amount of money by an official of the government and told not to protest. And we also have videos that are trending everywhere, both on WhatsApp and everywhere, that is the government. So why the reason why I say let's first take a look at this is that while government keeps claiming that the protest is being hijacked, let us be very clear to them that they are the ones, just like Femi Falana said, they are the ones hijacking a peaceful protest. They are the ones shooting, throwing, what do they call it, canister, the tear gas canister at people. Let's also take a listen to that before we come back. Throwing canister, the man had bandages in his eyes for not doing nothing. These are innocent people who doesn't even have, what do you call it, they don't even have weapons on them. Just like today we saw in Ojota. They were just peaceful. Just like the police came around and the police had to leave. But let's take a listen to what that very people had to say. And of course, let's also show that why Femi Falana-san telling the government official to stop mobilizing youth to disrupt this rally, it might go the bad way. We have also heard about Wike also talking about people who are sponsoring, that is senators, that they have identified a senator that is actually promoting, sponsoring the protest as a result of giving protesters food. How somebody, if you prepare food and you willingly give people who are protesting peacefully in the street, how does that amount to sponsoring? If that amounts to sponsoring, then it means again that the police people who do bring, because we have seen videos where good policemen on the street will come with their van and give water to the people who are protesting. So it also means that the Nigerian police force is also sponsoring the protest. What are your thoughts before we go to Zoom?
You know, first of all, I would say that it's very, very awful. You know, it's a very sad situation that Nigeria government can actually organize troops against protesters, and not just protesters, their own citizens who are actually fighting for their rights. It is already a very sad thing in this very country. And coming to Wike's own, to me, he does not just have any point. You know, he's just trying to make a point that is very, very invalid. You know, because I know he's definitely pointing at Senator Kingibe, you know, who is trying to support the Nigerians, you know, encourage them to speak up for their rights. I think Wike doesn't even have a point, because he's not trying, he does not just have any good intention for Nigerians. To be honest with you, there is nothing good about Wike towards the Nigerians, and I think he's just trying to
just like,
gain a point or distracting the citizens.
Just like the people who visited Buhari, the former president of Nigeria, in Daura, his own town, his own kindred, his own people came to visit him in his house, but he took the back way. But anyway, let's quickly, before we bring all the other recap and update, let's quickly introduce the people who are joining us to have discussions of the happenings of today. We have Lord Kingsley and Mr. Basi from Calabar Municipal, and of course, Tony from Enugu. Let's start with Lord Kingsley. Lord Kingsley, so we have seen that so many people are telling the government to withdraw their hands from employing people, giving people money to go and hijack and this very end-back government protest. We got that from Femi Falana, who tells government that they should stop mobilizing the youth to disrupt their rallies. We have also seen that the youths have started moving towards the elected officials' houses, at least to present letter, like the one they went to Buhari's house in Daura. That is the Muhammadu Buhari, former president, in Daura. But of course, we learned that he got intel before that very time and had to escape. I don't know why he is escaping. He should have addressed the people who came to meet him, these constituents for that very matter. And of course, we see that there is a government. They all think that the youth will come to, you know, do things that are bad. It is when they run away that those bad things happen. If they lead with example, there is no way that bad things will come. Look at the governor of Jigawa state today, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jigawa or Taraba, he came out in the streets and was actually talking to the people who were protesting, and they freely. People were very happy with him. Just imagine what happened also in Ojota today. People came out and they were protesting. The police came face them, but they addressed the police people, and police people all turned back and they started marching out. You know, it was very, very commendable. So leaders should not run away from their responsibility. So, Loke, what do you make of today's peaceful protest in different areas generally, and what do you have to say to Nigerian youth for what they are doing?
Yes, fellow Obedients around the world, studio panelists, and everyone on Zoom. Well, I would want to start by saying congratulations and well done to our Nigerian youths. Well done for their activities, well done for the courage, and well done for everything they have been through. Because these are the Nigerians, these are the people that are actually fighting for the freedom of the states, for the freedom of the country. Now, we have seen, different occasions where some of these protesters have been attacked or have been confronted by others that have been paid to come and protest against them. But then only to find out that a few of them, I'll say majority of them, never even knew why they were coming out or why they were being asked to come do this anti-protest. We're seeing placards where they were, some of them carrying placards saying no protest. But then from their utterances, we could actually tell that these guys are actually for the protest. and they don't even understand why they were there. Up to about 5,000 being paid to some of them. We're seeing a motorbike rider saying that he was actually paid, but then he is not in support of them not coming out to protest. He wants to protest. He knows that things are going bad. He cannot actually afford, his own petrol to drive his bike anymore. So, gentlemen and ladies, these guys, they are out there. Regardless of what the government is actually saying now or dealing with, I find it a bit disturbing. I find it a bit abrupt that the federal government, the man that said he will deliver Edo State, the man that said he wants to retain his seat, the man that bought his way into power, now the power is with him, but he doesn't know what to do with it anymore. He's confused. He never came with a plan. He doesn't have a plan now, and he will be living without a plan. So what is he actually doing right now? What's he doing with the plan? What's he doing with the mandate that he stole? What's he doing with it? Is it to bribe his way through? So, gentlemen and ladies, now is the time. Now is the time. Let's unseat that power. Thank you, and I encourage more Nigerians to go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's
quickly turn our attention to what may be happening in Calabar Municipal, that is in Cross River State. I know that our own Mr. Bassi has joined us in Zoom, and we want to know, Mr. Bassi, let me even bring to your attention the issue of what happened in Abuja, where Wike keeps complaining about they have identified a sponsor, a senator that we said probably is King Gibe, because that is who he's having a beef with, just for providing food. Because I keep trying to hear him out to see whether he could identify somebody or something, but it's just that he said the person provided the food for protesters. But again, before we do that, let's take a listen to what the residents of FCT Abuja had to tell Wike on today's protest. Let's take a listen.
Citizen.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell us what exactly made you join this protest, because there are also other groups that we saw that said they don't want to join protest because they think the modality is not right.
Nanda Sabi, now hunger carry me come here. Inflation, the way things have tripled in the markets. That is why I'm here. It affects me personally. It affects me as a human being, as a citizen. And that is why I've come to join the protests. Hunger, inflation. People cannot buy things anymore in the markets. You're a woman, you go to the market, you cannot afford crayfish, you cannot afford egg. Even the least, Gary, you cannot buy. Gary is not a rich man's food. My people, Gary is almost the same level we rise. And you say I should walk by. I can't walk by. I must join. I don't need to belong to any group. Nobody is more Lagosian than any Lagosian. Nobody is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. We are all Nigerians, and it's affecting us equally.
Now, people in government actually pleaded with the protesters to shelve this protest, and their reason is that the president has just been in office for just 1 year,
Yes.
and 1 year is not enough to actually bring about the changes that people are asking for today.
One year is not enough to bring about the changes, but 1 day was enough to increase fuel. 1 day was enough to give policies and instructions that almost ruined our lives. It's all about policies. Make these policies and implement it.
Government are appealing to you not to carry this protest, that we believe some miscreants will take advantage and cause men and cause destruction of property within their city. See what has happened in most of the states today. Kanu is there, Kaduna is there.
So let's quickly, I know there must be a misunderstanding on the videos that we called up. But of course, you heard what she had to say happening in Lagos, the vexation, and they're talking about the police is their friend in their vest and all of that. But let's quickly hear from Mr. Bassi, then we can come back to studio. So Mr. Bassi, what are your thoughts about today and what do you have to tell Nigerian youths on their struggle for a better Nigeria?
Kanu, good evening, studio panelists and Zoom panelists. Good day, Obidient across the world and listeners. Let me start by, first of all, congratulating and celebrating the Nigerian youth and Nigerians in particular for their show of love and tenacity, show of patriotism in ensuring that we bet a new Nigeria. I want to thank them for their resilience, despite all provocation, despite all the resistance by government and their agents. They are still out there protesting peacefully. I must commend them once again. And I also want to use this opportunity to pay tribute to our fallen patriots who lost their life in the course of this protest. And it is my prayer that their death will not be in vain, that the intent and objective of this protest will be realized, and so that it will be on record that they paid the supreme price for their motherland. And having said that, I want to say that the utterance of Minister Nyesom Wike is unbecoming. And I think each time he opens his mouth to speak, he just speaks as if a drunkard, and control the things he says. He goes about accusing people, making unfounded allegation that is not substantiated. And I must also say that Senator Ireti Kinkibe had no reason to come out to speak and trying to justify herself. She didn't need to do that, because when you look at where the accusation is coming from, it's from a debased fellow who has no last, who has no integrity. So it doesn't add up at all. You don't join issues with such people, because otherwise they will begin to begin to think you are in his category. So it's better to avoid trying to defend yourself, because when you know that your hands are clean, you have no reason to begin to defend yourself. The truths are there and it's in the open place. So there is no point to do that. And two, government too should try and stop this negative effort they are putting to put down this protest. It doesn't call for it. They've done all manner of wrong things to stop this protest. And I don't know what they stand to achieve, what they stand to gain. The more they do this, the more resilient Nigerian youths are. So they should rather stop it and focus their energy in doing the right thing. There are demands that are out there. They should talk to their paymasters. Whoever is being sent should go back and tell their paymaster that what Nigerian youth are demanding is for him to reverse, first of all, the bring back subsidy, and that will be it. Then there are other demands that are being made. He should make effort to make sure he attend to those demands. That should be his priority, not sending his ministers, his agents to go about trying to truncate this, trampling on the fundamental human right of Nigerians, and then trying to label them as they are the ones creating problems. Nigerians are peace-loving people, and it's been very clear from the videos we are seeing that the protesters have been going about this protest in a very peaceful manner, even in dialoguing with security officials. They have not been aggressive. They have not been violent in their action. They've been very, very law-abiding. They've carried out this protest in line with the Constitution without infringing on anybody's right. They have gone about this protest without making any, being violent. So they should also stop all this violent this thing that they are trying to create upon cause upon Nigerians. It's uncalled for. So this is what I have to say at this point.
Okay. Let's even talking about violence. Let's hear from the guy who got hit by the tear gas canister during the protest, and also the
prophet. This Asa El Buba, who lead the protesters in Plateau State, what he has to tell his congregation that came out to protest. Let's take a listen.
At the early hours of this morning, Jos, the Plateau State capital, witnessed empty roads and closed shops in anticipation of the nationwide protest against hunger.
This is the popular old airport runabout in Jos, the Plateau State capital, where protesters have gathered in solidarity to the nationwide protest, calling for an end to hunger, for an end to economic hardship in the country. And the protesters have vowed that they will continue with this protest for the next 10 days until the federal government is willing to listen to their pleas.
Leading the protesters, Asa El Buba said the people are out to remind government that they must step up their game by providing the right leadership.
Use bullets. We will not use stones. We will use our voice to demand for our right. Are you ready for that?
Some of the protesters said they had to come out in support because the hunger is real and something must be done before the situation gets out of hand.
I came back from the US 12 years ago, and I thought there was hope for my country, but for 12 years now, it's like things have went from up all the way down.
See how our farms have been destroyed daily. We can't go to farm. Over 5,000 hectares of land we could not cultivate over the years.
There's hunger in the land. We want enough food. We can grow this food with the support of the government giving enough fertilizer, not just palliative everywhere where they'll go and sell it again.
I want the government to watch and understand the effects of ending that fuel subsidy they did.
For now, the protesters are gathering momentum as more people are gradually coming out to join the protest. It remains to be seen how the protest will unfold.
All right, that is in Plateau State, and of course we can see that the Nigerian youth are mobilizing everywhere, and of course we are seeing leaders leading their congregations to come out and speaking up and being on the streets and actually providing for them. So why is it that most congregations next tomorrow is going to be another Sunday, and the most of the Christians who worship in different churches are going to go there? What do they have to ask their leaders who has failed to lead them to the street for a peaceful protest? Remember that it is their constitutional right, and if they had a leader like a pastor who leads them in a street, that they will all be doing peaceful protest, because just like this El Buba who is leading his congregation, why are Nigerian pastors who are of course having so much with their congregation, so much congregation, why are they not doing that to support? Is it that the hunger is not showing their faces in the church?
That is a very right question that we should ask the Nigerian pastors or the Christian leaders well, whatever their name may be, religious
leaders
leaders generally, that is the question we should ask them. Or are they thinking that the people coming out to exercise their right, if it's a sin, you know, because so far I've been reading the scripture, I've not seen where it's written that if you are hungry and you speak out, that is a sin. You know, I've not really seen anything like that. So, religious leaders out there, please,
we have people
it's actually
who has
very essential.
large congregations.
It's actually very important that they do this, you know, because is it that their congregations are not hungry? Is it that this hunger
on Sunday
is
now,
not
they will
coming
come out
to them?
to their pulpits and they will start
I don't
preaching
really
about
understand.
hunger, about bad governance. But to speak out, just to speak out, to lead their people,
to
provide
them.
water and some
You
food for
can't
them
do
to march. Let people know that they are feeling it. None of them, except very few that we are seeing now, we say, congratulations to these people who has done so, and we will tell you that we are very supportive, and of course we tell you that God will, you know, add more congregations to you. Now let's go quickly to our own Tony in Enugu. Tony, please, you have seen that peaceful protest has continued today, and we have seen different places outside of Kanu. We have seen Katsina State. Of course, your former president had to go away for whatever reasons. We don't know. He should have come out to address. But generally, how do you see the Nigerian youths as they continue on day 2? What are your thoughts and what are your takeaways from these processions?
Thank you, Kanu, and thank you for the opportunity to air my views. And listeners and participants, thank you so much. I think the Nigerian youth, they've shown that they are not going to be intimidated. They've shown that no amount of threats will deter them from carrying out this protest. I say congratulations, guys. Keep it up. They tried everything in their trick bags, and you can see that none has worked. You know you can do it. Continue doing what you're doing. Keep it violence-free. Keep it safe for yourselves and others who are not participating in the protest. But know ye that you are representing all of us. Both people at home sitting it out or protesting their own way by being indoors. You are doing a great job. Continue until your goals are met. And it's doable. You are close to it. Be dogged in your approach. Make sure that if they call for negotiations, be clear of what you want.
Yes.
Not reversing the fuel subsidy. There are other issues, particularly the issue of credible elections. Don't forget that, because without credible elections, ironclad from rigging, which they've perfected, from the judges that they have bought. Some of them have even pushing their own wives and cousins and brothers into high judicial offices. For what? To protect them when they rig. So there is a lot of work to be done. There is so much you can achieve. So when you go to that negotiating table, make sure you have your list complete. We must have an electoral act that will prevent these people, these criminals, airheads, from coming to power in the first place. We have to stop them from coming to power. So I would say thank you for your efforts. You've done a lot. Clap for yourselves and congratulate yourselves and continue the good. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. And of course, let's quickly
come back to our studio. You've heard what Tony had to say. But let me quickly go back and talk to Lord K about a certain thing that I noticed. And I think you also watched a video where the military are also joined on the looting. I saw a video where they carried, I think, oil, and even there's another video where they were, you know, scampering with rice. They saw protesters with rice. They have to take it and all of that. So, Lord K, what do you have to say about the security officers and operatives who are now supposed to mitigate certain circumstances where they are having issues of, you know, not operating peacefully? As on the trending video that is going viral, we can see the military people who are also looting from, taking advantage of this very peaceful protest also to loot. We have also seen picture where they stopped and they were also taking bags of rice from the people who actually took them off from as they were protesting. What do you have to tell us about that?
I mean, that was a very funny scene I observed as well, because I would have expected the military or the police or whomsoever they are in uniforms trying to stop the protesters to be very, very careful, to be very, very cautious of their actions. Why? Because they are actually representing the law. They are actually there to stop the looting. But it seems that, yes, they are part of the looters as well. Because the van we saw this afternoon, I mean, with a bag of rice at the top and then some jerry cans of, I think that could be granite oil or whatever it is. And the van they were actually driving as well was full of different things, which of course I believe they took off public and they are taking back to their barracks or going to send it somewhere which nobody knows right now. I mean, what are we actually after? Is it not for the betterment of our country, the betterment of Nigerians, betterment of these police officers themselves? Imagine these guys are paid, they only paid about 30 or 35,000, and then you are now being asked to go and shoot somebody that's fighting for your freedom, fighting for you to have a better life. I mean, it's a sorry case. It's a sorry case. If this guy, if they were in the right mind, just like the ones in Lagos, where the protesters actually approached them, spoke to them, and these guys, they saw some sense. And then they backed off. They let the protest go ahead. As long as it was peaceful, which of course we're all propagating, that it should be a peaceful protest. Let everyone walk. I mean, sing their songs. Go to whichever office they want to present the letters, and then let the authority then know what their needs are. We all know that, yes, Nigeria, we need power. We need a good electionary procedures. We need Yakubu Mohammed to leave that post. He must leave that post for anything good to happen with INEC. And then, let's then start making the roads good so that products can come from anywhere, every part of the country. And there will be a free market for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lord K. And of course, I thank all the our Zoom panelists.
Tony, Mr. Kenny, thank you so much for always devoting your time to share with us on this. And of course, tomorrow we'll try to bring you live updates of the procession of Nigerian protesters again. But before we leave, I want us to quickly look at a tweet that came from Father Olaoma, who said that Tinubu bribed party delegates to secure their party's nominations. They bribed voters to vote them. They bribed judges to give judgment in their favor. They are bribing protesters to protest against protests. With their dexterity at bribing, why can't they bribe at least hunger and inflation to let the poor breathe? This is coming from Father Olom, and I think it's a very good one. They have done all of this, but were unable to bribe hunger and inflation to let the poor breathe. That is so much. Thank you so much, our Zoom panelists. Now, coming back to the studio, Mercy, your last word, because I know that tomorrow is another day, and Nigerians, of course, will be preparing to be on the streets all over again, because, like I said, it's 10 days, and it's going to be a 10 days of marathon. And if the demands are not met, we continue. Is that not correct?
Of course.
Your last words, please.
Yes, we applaud the Nigerians that are already out there in the streets. And the rest of you Nigerians that are yet to join this protest, please do, because it is the benefit of all. If eventually this protest yield a positive change, then it's the benefit of all. Let us join hands and motivate those that are already out there by joining, or we encourage them in whatever means we can. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today once again. I know it might be morning, afternoon, or evening in your location, but do like and share. Tomorrow is another day. We encourage you. Remember, as I've said always at the ending, if you're anybody who represents any constituency in Nigeria, does not lead their people to this hunger protest, that person must not be returned as an elected member of the House of Representatives, or as a senator of a certain district, or as a state rep. If any member is not mobilizing their people to come and tell how hungry they are in their own constituency or in their street, that member is not worth representing those people right now. This is the time that he needs to lead his people on a peaceful protest. It does not matter whether it is APC or PDP or Abuja or any other party level for that very matter. They all must come out to show solidarity with the people that they said send them there. This is the right time for them to do so. And doing so is the right thing. Until tomorrow when we come your way again. Bye for now.